Akira.
What's up? Yo. What's up, how you doing? We're back. 9 months since the last stream. Can you believe it? Let's go. How you doing out there? Welcome to the stream. It is I, Akira the Don. We're back in the house.
How do I deal with setbacks?
Make some noise for yourselves. How's it all sounding out there?
I actually have
Let me know if the levels and things are doing what they're supposed to do.
way of dealing
Shouts out to everybody
with
locked in from
these
early. We appreciate you.
It is actually one word to deal with all those situations. And that is good. And this is actually something that one of my guys that worked for me pointed out to me. He would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. One day he was telling me about some issue that he was having. He said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. 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 You're going to say good. You're going to say good. You're going to say good. Good. That's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say, good. Good. And I said, well, yeah. And I mean it. And that is how I feel. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. We can keep it simple. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Didn't get funded? Good. We own more of the company. Didn't get the job you wanted? Good. You can get more experience, build a better resume.
What up? You gonna say?
You're gonna say good. Hey! You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good. Got injured. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Good. Needed a break from training. Got tapped out. Good. It's better to tap in training than to tap out on the street. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out, don't get startled, don't get frustrated. No. You just look at the issue and you say, good.
Yeah. You're
gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. 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 You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. You're gonna say good. Good. I don't mean to say something that's all cliche. I don't mean to sound like Mr. Positive.
What?
But do that. Do that. Focus on the good. Focus on the good. Take that issue, take that problem, take that issue, take that problem, and make it something good. Make it something good. And bring that attitude to your team. You go forward.
You're gonna say good. What's up, baby? Make some noise. How you feeling out there? Welcome to the show. We're back in the house. We have not done a live stream for 9 months. We have, however, been very busy, as I'm sure you are aware. I've been importing all the music, the songs I've released and made since we last did a stream, so I can play them. It's a lot. It took a long time. That's a lot of songs.
Good. And lastly, like to close this out. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, oh no, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, go out on the attack. And that right there is about as good as it gets.
Good as it gets. Meaningwave. What's up? Shout out to everybody locked in. Thank you, Matthew Fauci, for that hype thing. Liz Bay, what's up? Free Consciousness, great to see you. Says hype. That's right. We've got Mute Barbecue, who is at level 1. 47 weeks of support, months of support. Says Friday Night Dance Party returns. It is Friday night where I am. And if it is where you are too, that's crazy. How's that even possible? Enzo Gorlome, thank you for the support. You Batman says get some. Let's go. Akira 2025, which is a very good point, very well made, and I agree. We got Ballin' More Poet in the house. You just sent five, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 subs to the chat. That's so nice. That's so lovely. I'm going to read you a message that Ballin' More Poet sent yesterday during the launch of the new album. We had a live stream. We didn't. We had a premiere for the new album. We put out an album yesterday. You might have heard it. I don't know. Have you heard it? Let me know. He sent us a message during that live stream. He said, when I first heard Meaningwave, I was just making $15 an hour part-time. Yesterday, I got a raise of my job, which means my business and job combined, I'm now making over not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 6 figures! 6 figures, imagine that. It says, thank you, Akira and MAZ, for fueling my journey with diamonds. How about that? How about that? Make some noise for Walking More Poet, aka Ballin' More Poet. Ballin' like Max B in 2009. Max B getting out of jail soon. Make some noise. Woo. absolute glory and wonder. We got Fool Killer in the house. Thank you for the support, Fool Killer. Is happy to be back. Let's regulate those vibes. Yes, let's. Fool Killer there, looking like a Chad with like, what's he got next to his name? He's got like a crazy logo next to his name. The chat's all different since we were last here. They've added things. Some people got numbers next to him now, and you might wonder why they got numbers. It's because they've been holding it down on Meaningwave TV. We got Meaningwave TV, runs 24/7. It's been running 24/7 since March. And it plays Meaningwave music videos all day long. It's a miracle, and some people just hang out there all day long. And therefore, YouTube awards them crowns. Crowns. For the toppermost, the tippermost of the toppermost. Get these crowns, you know? Let's see who they are. Number one, yeah, but look at that. So I'm gonna count down from number 11. Who the apparently the tippermost of the toppermost who've been holding it down in the chat lately is. At number 11 is Balling Ball Poet. Make some noise. Number 10 is Amanda Dances. Make some noise. Bonozo Apps is at number 9. 75 XP somehow. Sheila 357 is at number 8. Lizbeck 1085 has got 200 XP at number 7. Scoops 82 is at number 6 with 225. JT the Lionheart. Meme Lord is at number 250. Matthew 33340 is at 325. Free Consciousness is number 3. Number 3 with 350 XP. Gorolomi 3000 is number 2. 725 XP, that's wild. 750, holding it down with 750 though. Just murderation. Number 1 is Fool Killer. It's Fool Killer. Fool Killer is the king of swing. It would appear. So shouts out to everyone who holds it down, enjoying Meaningwave TV. That's very nice of you. Meaningwave TV is great. Lots of people love it, particularly when new people arrive in the Meaningwave universe. They go, Meaningwave TV is really great. I'm just like amazed at the depth and breadth of wisdom, styles, music, all that type of thing, you know? And I say, exactly. That's what I say. I say exactly. Speaking of which, if this is your first time here tonight, drop a wave in the chat. If it's your first time here, drop a wave in the chat. Say hi. Currently listening to a very cool instrumental. One thing, right? So I only listen to my music when I'm making it, and I listen to it a lot when I'm making it to make sure it's great. And you know, and then I put it out, and then I move straight on to the next thing. So I haven't really been listening to my own music these past 9 months or whatever it is since the last stream, outside of when I'm making it. So this is going to be fun. Just listening to this, I'm like, wow, what a great instrumental this is. This is Mirror Method from the Neville album, which came out since we last spoke, and has become one of our biggest records. People love that record. Forbes magazine did a whole article about that album and how useful and great it is. Shouts out to everyone involved in that kind of thing. New Wave Riders welcome, says Fool Killer. Exactly. And speaking of, as we mentioned, new stuff, we dropped a new album yesterday. Just yesterday, a whole new album, and this seems to be everyone's favorite song from it.
Think of ways and means by which you can increase your contribution to your company, your industry, and those whom you serve.
Make some noise for El Nightingale.
You'll begin to notice a wonderful change in your world. For as she sowed,
Amity Kruger, what's up? Claudio, what's up?
So
Corey, what's up?
this applies just as much to the family as it this attitude, you've joined the top 5% of the people of the world. You've virtually removed all competition. You're creating rather than competing. You're affecting life rather than just being affected by it. You're becoming a creator and a giver to life instead of just a receiver. By taking this attitude toward your work, your company, and industry, you're automatically taking care of two vital parts of successful living. First, you'll find yourself becoming more interested and enthusiastic about your work and its future, and both interest and enthusiasm are contagious. And second, you're building financial security which will last a lifetime.
To see. That is not right.
So keep this thought in mind as often as you can on and off the job. Somewhere in your present work, there lurks an opportunity which will bring you everything you could possibly want for yourself and your family. It will not be labeled opportunity. It will be hidden in common everyday garments, just as was the hairpin with which a man fashioned the first paperclip, or the dirty drinking glass which triggered the paper cup industry.
As ye sow. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. With Earl Nightingale from the brand new album Acres of Diamonds. That's actually the second Earl album this year. We had The Miracle of Your Mind back in March. And we got this too. Yeah, exactly. Watching on 3 different devices. Bap, 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 says Mute Barbecue. That's very smart. We got a lot of Diamonds in the chat, which is always good. Diamonds used to summon Hercules. Hercules has a song called Diamonds. And now Diamonds also mean Earl in the Acres of Diamonds. JT, the Lionheart Meme Lord, what's up? Says, indeed. Indeed. My favorite song on the album. Yeah. It's funny, right? Like one of these days I might play you some demos, but in the demo stage, it wasn't obvious that it was as anthemic as it ended up being, but I ended up putting like a lot of orchestras on it and eking out that chorus. The chorus, initially it was like a scratch chorus, and then I found all that extra melody, and then took a couple of little lines from one of my favorite songs. Ooh-wee. Which is quite appropriate for this cultural moment. Claudio, shouts out to Claudio. Thank you for the support. It says thanks for all the life-changing music. As they say around these parts, de nada. Which literally, I believe, translates to it's nothing. Of course, that's not true. It is everything. It's todos. Todos, Cindy Bailey. Happy Maz is back. Monday is my hubby's 45th birthday. We're celebrating tomorrow. Well, congratulations to you. Hey, do we have any birthdays in the house tonight? Oftentimes there'll be a birthday. I mean, it's not surprising. There is only 360-something days in the year. So it's actually quite likely it's someone's birthday. I try to make another. Rick says, hey, Akira, do you remember that Bittersweet Symphony mix you made years ago? Stuck in my head, but I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, you're probably thinking about, the first one I did was around 2004 on one of the very first mixtapes, and I remixed, I sampled Bittersweet Symphony, I put some drums on it, and I got a Sage Francis a cappella and put that on it. Sage Francis had released an a cappella for a song of his at the time. So that's what it is, and I think it's on the channel somewhere. Sage Francis, many years later, on Twitter, started trying to start beef with me, moaning about the fact that some radio station had been playing it, and it had been credited on the radio station as featuring Sage Francis, and he didn't like the implication of a song by me featuring him, which is frankly quite rude and unappreciative. It's not like he's getting played on many radio stations. I made him sound great! But I have no control over what radio stations bill things as. I said you shouldn't put out acapellas if you don't want people remixing you. He said I'm not anymore. I said, well, too bad, because STEM technology exists. I didn't say that. But that is true. I mean, just since we last spoke, technological developments are out the wazoo. There's things I'm able to do now that I dreamed of doing many years ago. I dreamed of it. I dreamed I did, and now I can do loads of extra stuff that I couldn't do before. It's very magical. I've been having lots of fun. Working on, as you know, because I've been releasing lots of music, and I've been having lots of fun making music. I've been having lots of fun making art. I've been having lots of fun making video, making visuals. Incremental improvements all over the place. On yesterday's Earl Nightingale album, I was able to add a animating waveform that reacts to the music in a very simple fashion. It used to be very difficult and annoying to do that, and took up a lot of processing power, making it a tricky thing to do for a full-length record, and I'm able to do it now because we live in the age of miracles and wonders. This is the age of miracles and wonders, brothers and sisters. So shall ye read? Happy birthday to Amanda Dance's husband. Was it someone else's? Shout out Major Data.
Let me give you a technique I have taught to thousands, and it has never failed when properly applied. Instead of trying to get what you want, every night as you lay down to sleep, assume you already have it. Feel the naturalness of having it. Create a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the completeness of possession. Then fall asleep in that state. You see, sleep is the state of consciousness where your subconscious mind is most receptive. As you fall asleep feeling you already have what you desire, you are impregnating your subconscious with the seed of fulfillment. And just as a seed must fall into the earth and die to its current form to be reborn as something greater, your conscious mind must fall into the sleep state while holding the feeling of fulfillment. Holding the feeling of fulfillment. Your conscious mind must fall into the sleep state while holding the feeling of fulfillment. Says, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Your desire, planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind through the feeling of fulfillment, must grow and manifest in your world. But remember, you must stop trying. trying implies effort, then effort implies lack. Instead,
that's right.
Live in the absolute assumption that what you desire is already yours.
Hey.
Feel its reality now. Experience the joy of possession now. Let every action, every word, every thought spring from the consciousness of already being what you want to be. Having what you want to have. What you want to have.
Instead of trying to get what you want every night, as you lay down to sleep, assume you have it. Instead of trying to get what you want every night, as you lay down to sleep, assume you have it all.
Many of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I assume something is mine when my senses tell me otherwise? This is where the art of consciousness comes into play. Your physical senses show you the harvest of your previous assumption. They show you the effects, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, and that is where the change must take place.
Akira.
When you walk into your room at night, you don't try to get light. You simply flick the switch, assuming the light will come on. You don't stand there trying to make the light appear. You act with the absolute confidence that the light will respond to your action. This is how you must be with all your desires.
Instead of trying to get what you want every night, as you lay down to sleep, assume you have it. Instead of trying to get what you want every night, as you lay down to sleep, assume you have it all.
What up, yo? Meaningwave, make some noise. Assume you have it. From the album Stop Trying. Instant classic Meaningwave masterpiece. Yeah, yeah! Assume you have it all. And why not? Feels like it works. Shout out to everyone who's been having, things have been working. I get lots and lots of messages from people saying things are working, that they're applying techniques, they've learned stuff, they're doing well. If that's you, shout out to you. People have been messaging me a lot about this record this week. This is an evergreen Meaningwave classic.
The reason why I got Everything's a Scam in a neon sign in my apartment is because that's the most optimistic message you can think of every day. To remind myself of that every morning when I woke up.
And the reason why I think it's optimistic is that you see all these different problems, right? All these things in the world. And you're like, well, I don't understand that thing. Like, I don't understand.
In my case,
longevity research and science. I don't understand any of these things in a deeply technical way. I want to affect them. A lot of the reasons why people don't go into different fields is they think, well, there's this kind of expert status around this field, which means I can't ever infiltrate it. And the thing that I want to remember every day is that expertise is a scam.
Expertise is a scam.
Increasingly obvious.
Hierarchy that's been created within an industry to prevent other people from being able to go and get into it.
Oops.
Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam. Everything's a scam. Academia is a scam. Venture capital is a scam. Everything's a fucking scam. Right? But if you realize that, then you can do anything.
That's right. Reva says everything's a scam. Shouts out everybody locked in. This is Meaningwave. This is Akira the Don. We are streaming. Haven't done that in a long time. It's very nice, isn't it? It's a nice thing, this streaming. How are you all doing out there? How are you enjoying yourselves? Shouts out Lisbeth C. Says, I recall hearing a sample of Terence McKenna. No, I recall hearing a Terence McKenna tune with Bittersweet Symphony sample courtesy of the Dawn. Yeah, that too. I have done things of that nature. It's true, I have. That was a long time ago, that one. That was a great record. We had a new Terrence record earlier this year. That was another instant classic masterpiece that everybody loved. So I think I'm going to play that while we do that thing that we do round here. Musky Potatoma says you work with Scott Adams is epic. Hey, thanks. I shall play some Scott Adams shortly. We've had some great Scott Adams records this year. We got many great ones in the works. But I'm going to play a new record in a second. No, I'm going to play the record I just mentioned. And while I'm playing that record, I want you in the chat to let me know where you are. Let me know where you are and describe how you are feeling in one word. No, don't do that. Let me know where you are. And yeah, that's fine. Let me know where you are and how you're feeling. We've got to do the International High Five. It's called the International High Five because we are a very international group of people hanging out, listening to Meaningwave, being wavy and cool. And this will be proof of that fact when we see where everybody is and what they're doing. I, for one, am in Mexico. If that's not international, I don't know what is. I'm an international motherfucker. They call him International the Don. Splash. I put on the instrumental, but that's fine because people are already saying. What you said says I'm either 49 or 117. Good for you. Steve S says, how's the bench squat press going? Looking swole lately. Hefe. I actually got a PR this week. I got a new bench PR. I got 110. I'm inching closer to my 225 next goal. So that's exciting. Sheila's in Nashville. Groovy. Hey. Free Consciousness is in Vegas. At home, feeling happy. Isn't that nice? JC Lionheart is here and now. Stella. Enzo Garlomi is in Brisbane, Australia, feeling powerful. See, I told you, international as fuck already. Dylan Gallagher's in South Dakota and he's wavy. Sarah Eckard is in Pennsylvania, riding the wave. Fool Killer is in Maryland and mirthful. You see, that's a good word. Rick Addlesey is in Manchester, UK, manifesting. Oh, Manchester, so much to answer for. I watched a great video the other day about spawn points in Manchester. Maybe you've seen it. The VPN players spawning into Crocodile Gardens and causing all manner of issues. It was a good video, very informative. Walking Mall Poet, aka Balling Mall Poet in Virginia, creative. Selena is in the UK and joyful. Shouts out to the UK and being joyful in the UK. Big Bad Wolf says, am I dreaming? Are we streaming? Hey! That reminds me, could someone do me a favor and hop on over to Meaningwave TV and let in a chat? If there's anyone in the chat over there just chilling who doesn't know there's a stream going on, that'd be sad for them, wouldn't it? So if someone could do that and leave a message, that'd be really nice of you. Corey Heartline in Virginia is wavy. How about that? Everybody knows. Scoops82 is back. Black and Blue Fins is south of Boston and are rejuvenated. Mute Barbecue is in the deep south of Americana and is feeling stupendous. Major Data says, dude, I'm telling you, I just wrote a competition speech based on this hook. I think it's a winner.
Perfect.
Exactly. I've got to remember where all these buttons are. Ryan Joseph is Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Big Bad Wolf is a wavy wolf. Rick Addlesey says, can you bench the boy? Of course, the boy is very light. I could bench 2 of the boy, maybe 3. Amanda Dance is out in Kansas. Balloon Head, sickish but accomplished. Shouts out to you. And you know, we could keep going, I imagine. We could keep going. We've got some England flags in the chat. Shouts out to those.
Perfect.
Charleston SC for Stephen Pace, currently projecting or protecting my 3-year-old from sharks. What? It's a Flores lava type scenario. Thank God for that. I thought you had a shark issue. That would be really quite the bloody thing. Scoops82, a member for 82 months, level 1, like a G.
Akira.
I don't know where that button is. I gotta remember where my buttons are.
Do you know who Akira the Dawn is?
Of course, he's amazing.
Exactly. Anyway, Scoops82 says, thankful for this day. Happy birthday to LC. Love you, my boy. I told you we had a birthday. I knew we'd have a birthday. Happy birthday, LC. Major Data is in the Emerald Isle. The Emerald Isle. Somewhere in North Carolina. Larmind Knight, he's in Alberta, Canada. Feeling grateful to be alive and healthy. Thank you for everything you do. Well, thank you to you. Nick Mayaga is in Northern Virginia, here for Maztastic Times. And on we could go. Meta Jesters in Eagle Mountain. Do you understand? Do you understand? This is an international situation that requires an international high five. Therefore, cock the fuck back and aim at your screen. Bo! Bo! Are you doing it? Are you high-fiving right now? High five right now. Therefore, you will harness the energy of your brothers and sisters across the international nations thing. What a sign to be alive. That's the wrong version of the song. I am rusty.
It's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about
how it is.
And at that point, novelty theory can come out of the woods, because eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on? It's just too nuts. It's not enough to say it's nuts. You have to explain why it's so nuts. So between now and 2012, the next 14 years, I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality, and at the same time, appalling acts of brutality, genocide, race baiting, homophobia, famines, starvation, because these systems which are in place to keep the world sane are utterly inadequate to the forces that have been unleashed. Weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. It's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. What the hell is going on? Weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. And finally, it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. The collapse of the socialist world, the rise of the internet, these are changes so immense, nobody could imagine them ever happening. And now that they have happened, nobody even bothers to mention what a big deal it is. The fact that there is no such thing as the Soviet Union, people never talk about it anymore. But when I was a kid, the notion that that would ever change was beyond conceiving.
That's a good point.
The good news is that as primates, we're incredibly adaptable to change. Put us in a desert, we survive. Put us in the jungle, we survive. Under Hitler, we survive. Under Nixon, we survive.
Okay.
We can put up with about anything, and it's a good thing because we're going to be tested to the limit. To get weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. It's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. What the hell is going on? Weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder. And finally, it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about
how weird it is.
How weird it is. How weird it is. The right wing is so alarmed because what they see going on is the breakdown of all tradition, all order, all sanctioned norms of behavior. And they're quite right that it's happening, but they're quite wrong to conclude that it should be resisted or is somehow evil. The mushroom said to me once, it said, this is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. This is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. You don't depart for the stars under calm and orderly conditions. It's a fire in a madhouse.
Fire in a madhouse!
And that's
the end of time.
This is what it's like when a species prepares to move on to the next dimension. To the next dimension.
To the next dimension. How about that? Terrence McKenna in the house in the Meaningwave universe, holding it down, being correct, having foresight, the sight of four, not one sight, two sight, or three sight, but foresight. Hey, Scoops82, shouts out to you. Just sent 5. Count the memberships to people in the chat. What a lovely, lovely thing to do. Shouts out to you. Speaking of lovely things, lots of you have been sending me pictures of your lovely, lovely things, of your Meaningwave vinyl. That's right, Meaningwave vinyl. The Jocko vinyl shipped. It's been flying around the world. People have been opening up doors, greeting postmen. The postmen have been giving them large packages, and they've been going, bloody hell, what is this? Is this Jocko vinyl? That's right. So it's very exciting. That was quite the adventure. Getting all that together, and getting that done. Charlotte sent me a message. She says you said you bench 110. Did I say that? It's 210. Yeah, it is 210. Did I say 110? No, it's not 110. It's 210. It's 210. Imagine 110. That'd be like that bloke who's trying to be the mayor of New York. Did I really say 110? Well, presumably you all knew what I meant. Thank you, wife. Wife has been laboring and sweating and bleeding and all sorts to get these vinyls made and delivered for years. It's been quite the thing. And it's done. I'm very amazed. And people have been sending in pictures, and they look lovely. They're very beautiful. And if you missed the pre-order, as promised, you can now get one via the website. How about that? We've got a lovely website. I don't know if you've seen it lately. I made a new website, right? And it's very pretty. Look how pretty it is. It has these pictures that show you what we've been up to. You can press that and cycle through them. Look, new album. Acres of diamonds. Acres of them, you know. Notice the things on the right. That's how long it's been since we've been streaming. With any kind of... Look, it's advertising the Marcus Aurelius campaign. That shipped. Those records went out to the people who pre-ordered them. And guess what? They're also available now on the website. You can go buy vinyl on the website. Imagine that. Meaningwave.com. Open up meaningwave.com in your browser, and you can go over there and say you want to look at the vinyl. Click in the corner there and go to store. You know, that's one way of doing it. A quicker way would be to just go directly to... Why isn't it showing at the top? Oh, it's because I've made the window small. There we go. Store. Go down to physical media. We've got vinyl in physical media, but there's other physical media as well. But anyway, in the vinyl. Look, there it is. Look at that. So the Jocko vinyl and the Marcus Aurelius vinyl is now on the store for you to get while you may. And that's very exciting. And if you look at it, you can see how cool it is. Look, the path there. And the vinyl is lovely. Shouts out to Jake, who designed the interiors. It's got a full lyric gatefold sleeve with all the lyrics in it and cool sloganings and stuff. And people have been getting those, and they love them very much. So, yes, if you wish to add to your collection of Meaningwave glory, you may now. So cool. Oh my gosh. I can't wait till I can get mine. Because I don't have one. Because there's been... I don't know if you've noticed, there's been all sorts of things going on in the world to do with tariffs and postal services and all sorts of things. These, by the way, are currently only available in the US. They're exclusively available to the US because we're currently getting charged like hundreds of dollars to send things to people in different countries. So that will all need working out. I'm sure it will at some point. And soon. But look, you only get one shot. one shot at this gig right here live. Get some vinyl exists, and that's very exciting. Meditations vinyl exists, very exciting. Look, you can get that. That's double vinyl. It's got a lovely big book in the inside of it. All of this is at meaningwave.com. Check that out. And we've also got a very small amount of CDs, of the meditation CDs. And you'll find those by going to the music bit and I guess clicking, CD, there you go. And there's like really only a few of those. Is it going to come up? There it is, yeah. Meditations 1 and 2 on CD. I don't know if it says how many of them there are, but it's really not many. And the reason it's not many is we pressed up a whole bunch and then a load of them got impounded at customs, at Mexican customs, and they destroyed them. They destroyed them. Can you believe that? Like, hundreds of beautiful Meaningwave CDs got destroyed by Mexican government, I guess. This is some pictures that other people took of their CDs when they arrived and they sent in. That's someone's... Look, that's the CD. It's got my nice hand. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know how many of those there are, but it's like literally hardly any. So if you want a meditation CD, get that super fast, because there's bugger all of them, basically. But anyway, yeah, very exciting. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, vinyl collectors, go collect your vinyl. Meaningwave.com. Happiness is a side effect of meaning.
I want to tell you about a plan you can follow, which takes only a
Free Consciousness says, destroyed CDs, good.
Which brings results out of all...
Major data, Mexican customs, man.
For a moment, because...
Fool Killer says, destroyed Meaningwave merch. I think I'm going to be sick.
You have your work, your...
I know. Me too. You can imagine how I felt.
Philosophy of life.
I'm the daddy. I was the father of those CDs. They destroy my little beautiful babies.
Estimate made by... I want to tell you about a plan you can follow, which...
Despicable.
Time each day, 5 days a week, and which brings results over a fraction of the time spent. For a moment, consider the things your mind has brought you. Everything you have, your work, your relationship with your family and others, your philosophy of life, all come to you as a result of using your mind.
Akira.
Now consider the estimate made by experts. You have probably been operating on less than 10% of your mental capacity. Much less. Dr. Herbert Otto, psychologist, educator, and chairman of the National Center for the Exploration of Human Potential, reminds us that many well-known scientists, such as the late Abraham Maslow, Margaret Mead, Gardner, O. Spurgeon English, and Carl Rogers, subscribe to the hypothesis that man is using a very small fraction of his capacity. Margaret Mead quotes the 6% figure. Herbert Otto writes, my own estimate is 5% or less. Neurological research at the UCLA Brain Research Institute points to enormous abilities latent in everyone by suggesting an incredible hypothesis. The ultimate creative capacity of the human brain may be, for all practical purposes, infinite.
Infinite. Infinite.
Infinite potential.
Infinite. God bless you, Jacob.
Computer analogy. Man is a vast storehouse of data. But we have not learned how to program ourselves to utilize these data for problem-solving purposes. Yefremov, the eminent Soviet scholar and writer, says, man under average conditions of work and life uses only a small part of his thinking equipment. If he were able to force our brain to work at only half its capacity, we could, without any difficulty whatever, learn 40 languages, memorize the large Soviet encyclopedia from cover to cover, and complete the required courses of dozens of colleges.
For this, you don't need college.
Statement is hardly an exaggeration. It is the generally accepted theoretical view of man's mental potentialities.
That golden sound, baby. Akira the Dawn and Earl Nightingale. That golden sound to the Earl instrumentals coming soon, obviously. And I've created a That Golden Sound playlist on Spotify. I would put the link in the chat, but I have not prepared myself adequately to be able to do things like that. I will post it somewhere shortly. But I have created a That Golden Sound playlist on Spotify. It's also on YouTube and Apple. Collecting the instrumentals that I create that I would consider to be that golden sound. This definitely fits that category. Someone's saying they want a Jocko alarm clock. A Meaningwave Jocko alarm clock that chases you around the room shouting, get after it. That's a very good idea. Very good idea. Speaking of ideas, lots of people often want to send me their ideas. If you go to the Meaningwave Discord, there's an ideas channel which has got a link to where you can go fill in a type form and you can put like a link to a YouTube video or Audible or a sound clip or something, and you can write about why it's a good idea that I should check this thing out, and that goes into a database. I'm very organized, and I check that every quite regularly, and a bunch of songs that came out this year took inspiration from that place, so it's not an empty void. I do listen to you, and you do indeed give me great inspiration. Shout out to you. Robert Easley, what's up? Thank you for the support. You bad man says, listen to Earl Nightingale every day back in 2011. Changed my life. I'm glad he's part of Meaningwave now. Ain't that a beautiful thing? Shouts out to Earl Nightingale. Shouts out to Nightingale Conan. That's the estate. You've been very helpful. I made the first one, and I was trying to contact someone for years to get permission to put out Earl Nightingale, and it took me years to get in touch with them. But then when I did, they were really great, and they sent me over a bunch of stuff that I could use for future records. And the two I've made this year were from that. Big up Amanda Dances says, hopeful one of these Mexican CD destroyers pocketed one and got a dose of meaning. That's a nice way of thinking about it. Good.
Caretaker. So God made a farmer. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to sit up all night with a newborn colt and watch it die, and dry his eyes and say maybe next year. I need somebody who can shave an axe handle from a persimmon sprout, shoe a horse with a hunk of car tire, who can make harness out of hay, wire, feed sacks, and shoe scraps, who planting time and harvest season will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, and then painting from tractor back put in another 72 hours. So God made a farmer.
God made a farmer. God made a man to care for everything across the land. He gave him everything, he knew he'd understand why God made a farmer. So God made a farmer.
God said, I need somebody strong enough to clear trees and heave bales, yet gentle enough to yean lambs and wean pigs and tend the pink-combed pullets who will stop his mower for an hour to splint the broken leg of a meadowlark. So God made a farmer. It had to be somebody who'd plow deep and straighten corners. Somebody to seed, weed, feed, breed, and rake, and disc, and plow, and plant, and tie the fleece, and strain the milk. Somebody who'd bail a family together with the soft, strong bonds of sharing. Who would laugh, and sigh, and then reply with smiling eyes when his son says that he wants to spend his life doing what Dad does. So God made a farmer.
God made a farmer. God made a man to care for everything across the land. He gave him everything he knew he'd understand. Why God made a farmer? So God made a farmer.
So God made a farmer.
God made a farmer to care for everything. God made a man. He gave him everything. God made a farmer. Why God made a farmer? God made a man.
So God made a farmer.
God made a man. God made a farmer. God made a man.
So God made a farmer.
God Made a Farmer with Paul Harvey, Meaningwave masterpiece. One of the many, many ridiculous masterpieces that came out this year. And not even the only song about farmers that came out this year. My wife, hello darling, says, my grandfather was also a farmer. Always makes me happy to hear this track. It's also one of Hercules' favorite songs. I think Hercules said that's his favorite song of recent songs. But like I said, it's not even the only song about farmers that has come out this year. I believe there are multiple. And there's another one. What was this one? Yeah, this one, which is very, very quickly became a lot of people's favorite. Very quickly became one of Meaningwave's bigger songs. Hundreds of thousands of streams on this one already thus far, all that sort of thing. And if you haven't heard it, prepare for a treat because it's a banger. Make some noise for Alan Watts.
Akira.
Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer who lost a horse.
Ran away.
And all the neighbors came around that evening and said, that's too bad. And he said, maybe.
Maybe.
The next day, the horse came back and brought 7 wild horses with it. And all the neighbors came around and said, why, that's great, isn't it? And he said, maybe. 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 And he said, maybe. And he said, maybe. 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 And he said, maybe. The next day, his son was attempting to tame one of these horses and was riding it and was thrown and broke his leg. And all the neighbors came round in the evening and said, well, that's too bad, isn't it? The farmer said, maybe. Maybe. And the next day, the conscription officers came around looking for people for the army. And they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. And all the neighbors came around at the evening and said, isn't that wonderful? And he said, maybe. And he said, maybe. 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 And he said, maybe. And he said, maybe. 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 And he said, maybe. Yeah!
of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity. And it is really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequences of a misfortune. Or you never know what will be the consequences of good fortune.
Akira.
The Chinese farmer? Maybe. With Alan Watts, make some noise for Alan Watts, make some noise for that song. What a great song. That song was in gestation for a good couple of years. Its initial form, hear this? I haven't stemmed this out yet, but the initial version of it was basically like this kind of a beat, a very simple bass, and some Rhodes chords. It was very, very simple. It was kind of like quite lo-fi hip-hoppy. And then I put a string section on it, and then I put some more strings on it, and then I got some guitars on it, and then I put some live drums on it. And by the end of it, it was this ridiculous, massive thing. And it was great because initially it was going to come out in like 2022 or something. And then we had some scheduling changes, which meant that I had basically a couple of years to sort of mess around with it a bit. So it ended up changing and growing over that time. Had it come out initially when I first wrote it, it would have been very different. So that's always interesting. And speaking of which, some of you may know, but I've been working on a new Alan Watts album. And I've been working on it for quite a long time. Mark Watts, Alan's son, sent me something that he thought that I might like and might work well as inspiration for a record. At the end of last year, and I went listening, I put it on and I went for a walk, I walked down to the beach here in Playa del Carmen in Mexico and listened to it all the way through. And it was quite revelatory and quite beautiful. And I instantly heard in my head what it was and what it was going to sound like and what it would be. And I rang Mark and we had a conversation and it was very lovely. And I've been working on it ever since. It's funny, some records are fast records to make, some records less so. Some require more detail, care, experimentation. And sometimes it's just like a longer journey to get the sound that is in my head into the world, if that makes sense. And this Alan Watts album, it's a very beautiful, deceptively simple sounding, but actually complex. I don't know. It's a very beautiful, big, glorious, immortal record that sounds like it could have been made any time between 1967 and 3067. And I'm in the last stages of it now. So that's going to be the next album. And I'm looking forward to you hearing that. I'm looking forward to that being in the world. And yeah. Anyway, and I'll be, you'll hear it here first, of course. Since, live streams were always a lovely place to gift you with initial hearings of things. So I saw someone say, was it Derek said, "What up, Akira? Appreciate the steady flow of releases." It has been a steady flow of releases. It's been new music every week, all year, since the beginning of the year. And I've been, working very hard to make that the case. And of course, that doesn't leave room for live stream situations. Live streams don't just take the time it takes to do them. It's the setting up and all of that sort of thing. And, so I sacrificed that for the steady releases. But it's very important to do these, and it's very important for us to get together and hang out. So, you know, that's why we're doing that this week. And that's why we're going to be doing more of that going forward. And yeah. So hilariously, I can tell you now, there won't be I've done one live stream, and that means there won't be a release next week. Next week will be the first week of the year where there isn't a new song on DSPs. However, there will be something on YouTube for you. There'll be new stuff on YouTube. And then we'll be back after that with new material. Like I said, the Watts record, in the final stages of that now. And there's also lots of other stuff incoming. Been doing lots of activities. You might have noticed Naval tweeting nice things about Meaningwave and Akira the Don a lot, and there's lots of Naval stuff in the pipeline. Same with Scott Adams. There's lots of Scott Adams stuff in the pipeline. And as usual, I don't like to talk too much about like things that are in progress. I like you to kind of get things and experience them as new, you know, because that's exciting. But at the same time, it is nice to have things to look forward to. So, you know, I guess all you need to know is that there is lots of lovely things to look forward to. Fool Killer says, hyperproductivity and zone inhabitation, the results speak for themselves. I mean, that is really the case. That is really the case. I don't know how many songs we've got now. I've got to look into it, but it's 600 and something, 600 going on 700. And, you know, it's all amazing. Like I keep going, oh, wow, this record's fucking great. This record's fucking great. I've played like a handful of the records that we've put out this year that have all been wonderful, you know, so. Amanda says, thank you for these live streams. Well, thank you. And also, you know, the community aspect, which is also important. We have a Discord. I don't know if everybody knows that we have a Discord, but we do have a Discord. The link should be in the description. It's definitely, if you go the Akira the Don Linktree Akira the Don, the Discord link is in there, so you can find it and you go check out the Discord. Shout out to Hercules, my son, who is helping me out with cleaning up the Discord a bit recently and sort of adding some new stuff and making it like better. And we're going to be continuing to work on the Discord to make it a more enjoyable experience for you all. We're also looking at, Herc wants me to do the stage feature in there. I don't know if you know what that is. There's a stage. So I'll be doing some exclusive things inside the Discord. Rick Adelsey says, the Discord is my meme haven. It is very good in that regard. Shouts out to the Meaningwave Discord and the meme channel, and of course the Meaningwave channel, which JT does a lot of great work in, and lots of other people do great work in. And shout out to everybody distributing the Meaningwave message. Big Bad Wolf says, thank you for the streams. Thank you, Akira, for giving me a place to feel comfortable to hang out and enjoy some of the best music ever known to mankind. Well, thank you all for being here. You know, that's the most important thing. You know, if you were not here, what would this be? It would be that tree, what falleth in the wood without an ear to turn it into any kind of a sound. It would just be a dumb, dead tree. And what use is that to anybody? No use to man nor beast. I'm going to dedicate this to you. You. And you. And possibly you. Definitely you.
Keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. skid on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, hold on, hold on. Walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. None too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more.
You'll be a man, my son. Shouts out Meaningwave Legend 2076. Hey, you just sent an insane 20. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Not even 18, 20. Subs to the chat. That chat's so green. That chat greener than that goblin. Much appreciation. 2076. Make some noise for that bad motherfucker right there. Dropping subs like a butterfingered watchmaker. If watches were made out of subs. Oh! We in the house. We in the house. Meaningwave. Verde.
If you can't decide, the answer is no. If you're offered an opportunity, if you have a new thing that you're saying yes or no to that is a change from where you're starting, the answer is by default always no. Secondly, if you have two decisions, if you have A or B, and both seem like very equal, take the path that's more painful in the short term, the one that's going to be painful immediately. Because your brain is always trying to avoid pain. So any pain that is imminent, it is going to treat as much larger than it actually is. So take the path that's more painful in the short term. If you can't decide,
the answer is no. 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 The answer is no.
The last one, which I would try to couple Gupta with, is that you want to take the choice that will leave you more equanimous in the long term. By equanimous, he means like more peace, more mental peace in the long term. So whatever clears your mind more, it will have you having less self-talk in the future. If you can model that out, that is probably the better route to go. And then I would focus decision-making down on the three things that really matter. Because everything else is downstream of these three decisions. If you can't decide,
the answer is no. 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 The answer is no.
thinking about yourself as a source of all unhappiness and misery. Self-obsession is the root of all unhappiness. Thinking about yourself as a source of all unhappiness and misery. The answer is self-obsession is the root of all unhappiness. What did Buddha do? Conquer the self. What does that mean? It means that he saw through the illusion of the separate self. Did Buddha think about himself? Not for an instant. Not for an instant. Anyone that you think of as an enlightened being does not think about themselves for an instant. The happiest people in life, when people are at their best, is because they love something more than they love themselves. They love their children, they love God, they love their mission, what have you. And all misery comes from rumination, from sitting around, being depressed, going in circles in your own head about me. Me is a disease. Me is a disease. Me is a disease. Me is a disease. You need a concept of a me to be effective and to keep track of things. You have a memory, you have certain predilections, you have personality patterns. But the more you self-obsess, the less happy you're going to be. I guarantee you that. Thinking about yourself is a source of all unhappiness and misery. Self-obsession is the root of all unhappiness. Thinking about yourself is a source of all unhappiness and misery. Self-obsession is the root of all unhappiness. Me is a disease. 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 Me is a disease.
Yeah, make some noise for Naval. Multiple Naval bangers, that's just a couple of them this year in the Meaningwave universe so far. Aram Hassan says, this is exactly what I needed to hear, man. I've been struggling with making the toughest choice of my life so far. This is exactly the right words. Thanks, Akira. Boom! There you go. The answer's no. Easy, facile. Facile!
Level of our energy. And in order to be really most of us below, really most of us live below, really most of us live below the energy, the level of, really most of us live below the energy, the level of our energy.
Wow, 2076. 2076, going crazy out there, just dropped another 20 subs in the chat. Why? Because really,
most of us live below the energy.
The level of our energy. Shouts out to you, 2076.
In order to be happy, we have to do more.
We have to do more!
Now we can do more.
We can do more!
Spiritually and every other way than we are doing, as is proven by hypnotism. There were some men hypnotized and told that their strength was greater than it was before. And you know that they lifted weights 40% more than they'd ever lifted before they were hypnotized? They just got a new idea in their minds. And then another group of men were hypnotized, the same group. And they were told that they were not as strong as they usually are. And the weights they lifted were 40 pounds less. 40% less. So you see how important it is to have in the mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your
ability!
To have in the mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability. To have in the mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability.
Our world is really suffering from indifference. Indifference is apathy, not caring. I wonder maybe if our Lord does not suffer more from our indifference than he did from the crucifixion. Really, most of us live below the energy,
the level of our energy.
And in order to be happy, we have to do more.
To have in mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability. To have in mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability. To have in mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability. To have in mind an idea to do all that you can, to work to the limit of your ability.
What? Your ability.
Your ability! To have in the mind. Bishop Fulton Sheen in the Meaningwave universe. Make some noise.
As we conclude tonight, let me leave you with this final truth. You are not going to get what you want. You are going to get what you are.
Yeah.
Therefore, instead of trying to get something, be the person who already has it. Live from that assumption and watch as your world reshapes itself to match your new state of consciousness. The practice is simple, but it requires vigilance. Watch your assumptions as carefully as you would watch your step in a dangerous place. Your assumptions are creating your future right now.
You're not gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you want. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you want. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you want. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you want.
Remember this principle of stop trying to get it, and you'll have it. It's not just a technique. It's a fundamental law of consciousness. It operates whether you believe in it or not. Just as gravity operates whether you believe in it or not. Go forth now not to try but to assume, not to become but to be, not to get but to have. For in consciousness, where all creation takes place, what you assume as true is true. And what you believe you have, you have.
You're not gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Not gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are.
And now, my dear friends, our discussion comes to a close. But remember, what you've heard tonight is not just information to be remembered. It's truth to be lived. Let every moment of time become your reminder to assume. Let every appearance of lack become your opportunity to assume abundance. For in the end, it is not the trying but the assuming that creates your world. And when you truly understand this, you will know the peace that comes from ceasing all trying and resting in the assumption of your wish fulfilled.
You're not gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. Gonna get what you want. You're gonna get what you are. You're gonna get what you are. You're gonna get what you're not gonna get. You're gonna get what you are. What you wanna, you are gonna get. What you are, you're not gonna get. What you wanna. Ba 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 ba.
Last track from Stop Trying, We Never Got Out. Came out 3 months ago. That wasn't long ago, was it?
And God bless you all.
God bless you all. God bless you, Matt. Thank you for the support. Says, yo, what's up, Matt?
We've discussed the web from 3 points of view. As an analogy of the selective operation of our senses and mind, whereby certain things in the world are picked out as significant according to certain game rules. The game that we are playing mostly is the survival game. That is to say, the game ought to go on. The way we play the survival game has a kind of element in it which makes it difficult, because we tend to say the first rule of this game is that it's serious. And that messes the whole thing up. So you have to watch out, in other words, when you play, for contradictory game rules, self-contradictory game rules. Because if you get mixed up into them, the game ceases to be worth the candle. You start straining at doing something, then it just isn't worth it. Then the second thing that we observed was the web as an analogy of mutual interdependence. We could call it the idea that all existence is relative that all existence is transaction. The transaction being typically exemplified by, say, the operation of buying and selling, in which there can be no buying without somebody selling, and there can be no selling without somebody else buying. That kind of interdependence, of the inside going together with the outside. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Then we explored the web as a trap. The spider's web. Won't you come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. And we saw what would look at all of life from the point of view that it is original selfishness and original hunger. And we found that if you take that point of view to its ultimate extreme, it dissolves. And it isn't so bad after all. Shakespeare says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When it's put that way, it doesn't seem so bad after all. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. What is in you going together with what is outside you is absolutely fundamental to existence. It is existence. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. Existence is relativity. I remember that I had a Zen master friend who wrote a letter to a friend of mine which was passed on to me. This friend of mine was aspiring to be a writer, and he was trying to write novels that would put across Buddhism to people. Sugar the pill. And my Zen master friend didn't approve of this at all. He said, don't write any story to people. Write it to the great sky. Because all the real masters of literature, especially novelists and storytellers, are great masters of nonsense. Think of Lewis Carroll. You can use Lewis Carroll, and he did use Alice in Wonderland, as a Zen textbook. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toes that gyre and gimble in the wave. That's Zen. I had a discussion with a great master in Japan. We were talking about the various people who are working to translate the Zen books into English. He said, that's a waste of time. If you really understand Zen, he said, you can use any book. You could use the Bible. You could use Alice in Wonderland. You could use the dictionary. Because, he said, the sound of the rain needs no translation. No translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain. 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 Sound of the rain. Translation. The sound of the rain. So what does the rain say? Evening rain. It is the banana leaf that speaks of it first. You see, that's the point. And all the talk in the world doesn't get it unless you listen to the talk in a new way. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation. Needs no translation. The sound of the rain needs no translation.
Boom. Boom. Make some noise for Alan Watts. Sound of the Rain. It needs no translation. Was that on the last album? What album was that on? I can't even remember. That's an immortal classic masterpiece right there. Immortal classic masterpieces, or why even bother, I would say. Shouts out to Mike Can, 54 months of support, level 1 on the Meaningwave subscription thing. Shouts out to you. All subscribers, by the way, at every level these days, I've been giving you wallpapers every week. In case you haven't checked it out, if you're on Patreon or on YouTube channel members, check out the rewards sections, and I've been uploading phone wallpapers of the artwork for the new records, and lots of people have been saying that they like those very much, and that's great. Mike says, Akira, this lyric helps drive me. Seek freedom and be captured by your desires. Seek discipline and find your liberty. How did you interpret this? Yeah, that is Seek Discipline from the Meaningwave album, and that's exactly the same thing Jocko says. That's discipline equals freedom, as Frank Herbert says it, and that's all that is. It's one of the Meaningwave tenets. There's, we have to keep finding new ways of putting that across because it's one of the most fundamental things in life. Discipline equals freedom. Freedom to not be worrying about what you're supposed to be doing. Freedom to not be sick, or crippled by self-imposed sickness that comes from a lack of discipline. All sorts of stuff. Always useful. Scoops, thank you for the support. It says, I'll never forget stream 354. Legendary stream. I wonder which one that one was. Thank you for the train song for my boy. I play it this very day. 2076. Thank you for the 2076 super chat. Says the Ayn Rand banger moves me. I like playing it for friends when we're out for a hike in solitude in pristine wilderness. It now conjures up many memories. Yeah, that one's a banger. If you haven't heard that, check that out. The Anthem EP, which turns chapter 11 from Ayn Rand's novella Anthem into a record. Shout out to Jennifer Grossman at the Atlas Society, who got me to do that. Who said it gave her chills when she first heard it, as I recall. Or did you say it made her cry? Maybe it was both. It certainly did the same for me. A very powerful record in the Meaningwave Pantheon. And speaking of powerful records in the Meaningwave Pantheon,
I said, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. The water can flow, or it can crash. The water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. 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 This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. The water can flow, or it can crash. The water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend. Be water, my friend.
Splash, splash. Ooh. 2076. Says, looking good, Akira. Good to see you through the cosmos. Bless. I'm hearing these songs how I've never heard them before. New sound system for the win. Oh shit, what are you rocking? Muy importante. You need to be listening to your Meaningwave on good sound systems. None of these like silly little Bluetooth thingies. Unless it's a good Bluetooth thingy. When I was little, we had hi-fis. You know what I mean? And they had speakers. Shouts out to Seagulls. Shouts out to this record. I'm very happy about this record existing. Put this record out, and then people kept sending me this this melody sheep thing. I ain't having it. I ain't having it. I put it on. I couldn't get more than 20 seconds into it. I had to turn it off. Because this is how it sounds for me. See, I hear something, right? I hear a bit of speech, a bit of a movie, some words, and in my head, I hear what the song is, what the sound is, right? And I guess other people have completely different ideas, because that melody sheet thing, someone heard, what that person heard was that they needed to auto-tune Bruce Lee, which would never occur to me, because he's already got melody in his voice. There's already a very specific melody and rhythm in what you're saying. I would not fuck with that. I would not dare. To me, that seems rude. No shade on that, and it's just a process thing, I guess. We all have our own process and our own ways of bringing things into being. Water. Sheila says, I have good headphones, that bass be hitting. Muy importante, shouts out to Ugly God.
Like water.
What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content. Try again.
You hear that? Try again!
Akira. I said emotional content, not anger. Now try again. With me. With me. That's it. How did it feel to you? Let me think. Don't think. Feel.
Don't think.
Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Do you understand?
I understand.
Never take your eyes off your opponent. Even when you bow. That's it. That's it.
Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. Feel. Don't think. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. It's like a finger pointing away to the moon.
Go!
That's it. Don't think. Feel.
Ha ha ha! Oh shit. Wow, how about that?
Let me give you a practical exercise. Tonight, when you go home, take your desire, whatever it may be, and create a scene that would imply its fulfillment. Make it as natural as possible. If your desire is for a new home, feel yourself living in that home. Feel the texture of the furniture. Walk from room to room. Feel the joy of ownership. Then, and this is crucial, don't try to make it happen. Simply know that by feeling the reality of it, you have set in motion the law that must bring it into your physical experience. Your physical experience. Remember, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Not the trying, not the effort, but the feeling. Remember, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Not the trying, not the effort, but the
not the effort.
feeling.
Feeling
Feeling
is
you
the
would feel
secret.
if your desire were already a physical fact. Persist in that feeling and watch how life rearranges itself to match your assumption. Now let me address something that often confuses people. They ask, but Neville, doesn't this mean we should do nothing? No, that's not what I'm teaching. Action will come, but it will be inspired action, not forced action. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will be moved to take whatever action is necessary, but it will feel natural and effortless. Remember, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Not the trying, not the effort, but the feeling. Remember, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Not the trying, not the effort, but the feeling.
Feeling is the secret.
Think of a composer writing music. He doesn't try to compose, he listens inwardly and records what he hears. Think of a great artist painting. They don't try to paint, they allow the image within to express itself through them. This is how you must be with your desires. The great secret is this: the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the very feeling that seals its fulfillment. The more you try to get it, the more you affirm its absence. But when you live in the end, when you possess it in consciousness, the trying ceases and the having begins.
Right?
The trying ceases and the having begins. Remember, the feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Feeling is the secret.
Not the trying, not the effort, but the feeling.
Feeling is the secret.
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 Not the trying, not the effort, but the feeling.
Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret.
Go!
Feeling is the secret.
Oh, sure. How many of you were feeling a stream? Who's responsible for this coming into being? Mad shouts out to 2076 who just dropped another 20 subs on the chat. Righteousness be thy name. Nuking that chat with subs. Appreciate you. Wow, this record is great. I've never heard this record in the context of playing it in this manner. I just made it, dropped it, then boom! It was like right onto the next thing. What a great record. And also, I didn't even deliberately thematically connect it with Don't Think Feel. That I didn't think about, I just sort of did and then was like, oh shit, this works perfectly. They're not even necessarily technically harmonically compatible, but they work together very well. How about that? Andrew Pullman, member for 60 months. Thank you for your work, Akira. The version of me that existed 60 months ago would not have believed that today's version of me was possible. How about that? How about that? That's some powerful shit right there. Congratulations to you. Jake, we're in the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. Yes, we are. Feeling it's a secret. Feeling it's a secret. Feeling is the secret from the inaugural Meaningwave Neville Goddard experience. Something that has been brewing for many, 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 many years. And is now becoming possible due to advancements in humanity's capabilities of doing stuff. How about that? What a time to be alive. Speaking of humanity's abilities to do stuff. This next record is something that somebody willed into being. And that person was a Meaningwave enjoyer. Not just a Meaningwave enjoyer. The person behind the willing of this record into being was a Meaningwave user. As in the psychotechnology of Meaningwave in a practical sense. This person is a elite level athlete working at the very highest levels of elite athleticism. And this person only listens to Meaningwave when they're preparing, when they're training, when they're working. And this person would post Meaningwave on their socials and say, everybody, you should listen to this. This is what I listen to when I'm working out. And the person wrote to me and said that it was one of their ambitions in life to be featured on a Meaningwave record. And I said, well, bloody hell, you are exemplary of what everything we talk about is. You are actually doing it at the highest level. I would love to hear what you have to say. And that person wrote me, wrote lyrics, words, recorded them, wrote this piece of audio, sent it to me, and said maybe this will be, this could be, some ideas or something. And I said, no, this is a record. This isn't some ideas or something, this is a record. I said, what you've sent me is a verse and a chorus, and you need to write me a second verse, and then we have a song. And he said, bloody hell, really? He didn't say bloody hell, really. He's from Nashville. But he said words to those effect. And I said, yes. And he sent me some more, and it was perfect for a second verse. And I wrote the string arrangement and the piano and everything, almost just right there and then. And next thing you know, we got this record. And this is one of my wife's favorites, actually.
Nobody that has ever made a dent in the universe ever got there by going gently in the direction of their dreams.
Comfort zones are poison.
Nobody that has ever made a dent in the universe
with Michael Chandler
by going gently in the direction of their dreams. They took chances, calculated risks, and they braved the unknown. Comfort consistently played second fiddle to their demands and desired to accomplish. They fought tooth and nail to be the creation that they were called to be. Being galvanized by the fires of pain, regret, and failure, they walk on with complete disregard to perceived limitations. The if-I's and wish-I-wouldas haunt them from yesteryear. And turning a page, they blaze a new path as a new creation, day by day. Brick by brick, they build, stopping at nothing. Comfort zones are poison. Walk on! Comfort zones are poison. Walk on! Walk on, walk on. Comfort zones are poison. Walk on! Walk on, walk on, walk on. Comfort zones are poison. Walk on! Work on, work on. We must stop seeking comfort if we want to accomplish or ascend to the best version of who we were created to be. If we are truly honest with ourselves, we will admit that some of the most uncomfortable times in our lives resulted in the most improvements in our being. They hurt, but they made us feel alive. They produced pain, but they galvanized us in the fires we needed in order to burn off the parts of us that do not serve us. Now, being on the other side, we can look back with pride at the battle-tested individual that we have become. Once you have been through the trials that have been thrown at you, and you realize that you're not made of glass, you are emboldened with new armor and new equipment and a new perspective to step up into a new realm. Comfort zones are comfortable, but they lead down a smooth road to a living hell. Comfort zones are poison. Walk on. Comfort zones are poison. So walk on, walk on, walk on. Comfort zones are poison. So walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on. Comfort zones are poison. So walk on, walk on, walk on, walk on.
What it feels like to be on the other side of discomfort. Everything you ever wanted is waiting for you on the other side of your comfort zone. Get after it.
Akira.
Michael Chandler in the Meaningwave universe.
Akira the Dawn is a British musician, DJ, and producer. He's worked in genres as diverse as pop, hip-hop, indie, dance.
That's right.
And more recently, perhaps, something that has come to be known as
oh my goodness,
Meaningwave.
I cut the speech up with the beat and it's
crackling vinyl.
The older I get, the more I know just how
little I know.
Most men living one bad day away from
being a wino.
Many sing along, but how many can I know?
But for the grace of God, go I know. Hello, hi. Pretty fly for someone from such a place as I. You might not walk, but you might fly. Indeed, we live in such a time. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I'm alive. Been a peak of recorded human history. Hit that shout.
Akira. He's got clout. Spoke that shit
into existence. Perseverance plus persistence. Don't need motivation. We got meaning. Discipline equals freedom. It's that.
Meaningwave, 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 meaningwave. I took the speech, got that shit to the beat. It was sweet, and that's how I made Meaningwave. Meaningwave, 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 meaningwave.
You know what? It comes down to this for me. How do I want to be remembered? And that's the problem, man. Like nowadays, people don't give a fuck how they remember. They don't give a fuck about their family. Everybody's equal. Their mom is equal to them. Their dad's equal to them. Everybody's fucking equal. So it's a tough question to ask because when I grew up, my mom worked 3 fucking jobs. And all I wanted to do is she got her fucking ass damn near murdered. It took her down a dark hole. And I saw this. That helped me grow up and say, all I want to do is retire my mother when I get older. That's all I want to fucking do. And thank God I did that. But the thing about it, a lot of people, they don't have that in them. The parents raise the kids very differently now. So the kids don't have that sense of self. That sense of self. I believe in self-discipline, self-pride, self-motivation, that sense of self. That sense of self. That sense of self. I believe in self-discipline, self-pride, self-motivation, that sense of self. No one has that self anymore. That self is gone. So that driving force that tells you I have to do this shit, I took great pride in the fact that I was nobody. That's exactly what I took pride in. Was I'm gonna make sure you're good and you're good. My mama tell you right now, she knows I don't buy myself shit. I take great pride in that. I don't want shit. Because how I'm wired to, hey mom, I'm gonna get you this, and this. My girl, everybody's got everything. I don't even own a fucking car. And I'm a multi-millionaire. And I say that with pride because what I was here to do as a man, and men may not even want to hear this. It sounds so barbaric. That's the pride in what you have as a man. Is that you see your mom, you see your girl, you see your kids, you see all this shit. You see them doing well. I believe in that sense of self. That sense of self. I believe in self-discipline, self-pride, self-motivation. That sense of self. That sense of self. That sense of self. I believe in self-discipline, self-pride, self-motivation. That sense of self.
Many of you came to me after our previous discussions asking, but Neville, if I stop trying, won't everything fall apart?
If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart?
Let me tell you a story that will illuminate this principle further. There was a lady in my audience in New York who had been trying to sell her house for 2 years. She had listed it with countless agents, reduced the price repeatedly, and was constantly trying to make the sale happen. After hearing this principle, she did something remarkable. She went home that night and did what I'm teaching you. Instead of trying to sell the house, she assumed it was already sold. She sat in her favorite chair and constructed a scene implying the sale was completed. In her imagination, she held the check in her hands, feeling its crisp texture. She felt the joy and relief of the completed sale. Most importantly, she stopped trying to sell it. Within 1 week, a buyer appeared who purchased the house at her original asking price. You see, the lady's constant trying was her confession of not having, and therefore she could only reap the harvest of not having. The moment she assumed the completed state, the law of consciousness had to operate to bring it into her experience.
If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart? If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart?
Let me take you deeper into scripture, for remember the Bible is not telling the story of historical events, but is revealing eternal psychological truth. Consider the story of the Israelites trying to enter the promised land. For 40 years they wandered in the wilderness, trying to reach their destination. But it was only when they stopped trying, when they followed the instruction to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, that the walls of Jericho fell and they entered their promised land. This is not just a historical account, it is your story. Your desire is your promised land. And your trying is your wilderness wandering. The walls of Jericho represent all the seeming obstacles between you and your desire. But these walls fall not by effort, but by assumption.
No! If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart? If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart? If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart? If I stop trying, won't everything fall apart?
Another one from Stop Trying with Never Goddard. Never Goddard. That's almost all we got time for. It's really nice listening to these songs. I'm having a lovely time. Of course, there are many more records to be made, things to do. So I'm going to have to leave you. So that's sad. I got one more song to play for you. Remember, the good new news is Jocko vinyl, Meditations vinyl, Meditation CDs can be purchased from Meaningwave.com, which really is quite a bloody thing. What is that noise? Can you hear a noise? Interesting. Can you hear a noise? There you go. Always there is that kind of joy to. That's the joy of streaming, is random noises. But yeah, go Meaningwave.com and you can get vinyl now if you missed out on the pre-orders. There's just a couple of the CDs left, so they won't last long. And yeah, thank you all for being here. We will be back with more streams because it's important and we enjoy it very much. And we do love to see you and we do love to hang out. And microphone, come back. It's no. Yes. Is it there? It is. Shouts out Robert Easy says, love this live stream. Thanks, Akira. Donata. Big shouts out to Rex Racing with a crazy $130 super chat in the manner of an absolute lord. Who says any upcoming shows or podcasts planned. P.S. Happy birthday, Ashley. My beautiful wife and first-time stream viewer. Well, thank you very much, Rex Racing, you beautiful thing. And happy birthday, Ashley. Happy birthday to you. And yes is the answer. And I'll be letting you know very soon. There's some radical things happening that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. And shows and podcasts and so on are going to be a big part of that. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you to those of you that share Meaningwave. Thank you for your patience while I've been in this period of just working very hard on making music and art and running the record label and all that sort of stuff, and not giving you lovely live streams. I know some of you love the live streams, and I'm glad to be able to bring them back for you. I'm gonna dedicate this to you.
There's so much knowledge out there, so much information, so many ways to get better.
Happy birthday, Ashley.
We make so many mistakes. We're the product of our mistakes. And oftentimes the lesson is sitting there right in front of our face. It's there to be learned, but we
I found a button.
Do it, or we think we know better until it punches us in the face.
Boom!
The most important thing to learn is that we have so much to learn. We all do. And we can learn from school and people and from experience, and we learn from life. You get one shot at this game right here. Life. One life.
That's all you got.
One life. One shot. But you have to process the information. You have to absorb it. You have to accept it. You have to open your mind. You gotta free your mind so that you can learn and make real progress. And as far as regrets and things I wish I would have done differently, of course. Hindsight is 2020, and looking back, of course, who wouldn't want to take another go at something and improve on the first try by doing it again? And then why not do it again and again and again? Why not do it over and over again until you have it perfect? But the fact is, you don't get that chance.
You get one shot at this gig right here.
Life.
One life, that's all you got.
One life. One shot. And regret, in and of itself, it's worthless. It does nothing for you. In fact, the only valuable thing in regret is the lesson you learned, the knowledge that you gained. But walking around filled with regret gets you nothing. So learn and move on. Don't let regret beat you down. Don't be a slave to regret. No. Let it teach you. Let it make you better. Let the fear of regret fuel you to take action. Today. Now. You get one shot at this gig right here. Life. One life. That's all you got.
What?
One life. One shot. You get one shot. One shot at this gig right here. Life.
Yeah.
One life. That's all you got. One life. One shot. Now to become a better person. Not filled with regret, but filled with knowledge. Filled with knowledge and strength and power and filled with life.
Big shouts out to everyone that's been looked in.
With doubt and dismay you are smitten. You think there's no chance for you, son? Why the best books have not yet been written? The best race, it hasn't been run. The best score, it hasn't been made yet. The best song, it hasn't been sung. The best tune, it hasn't been played yet.
Cheer up!
For the world is young. No chance where the world is just eager for things that you ought to create. Its store of true wealth is still meager. Its needs are incessant and great. It yearns for more power and beauty, more laughter, more love, more romance. More loyalty, labor and duty. No chance,
There's nothing but chance.
For the best verse that hasn't been rained yet. The best house that hasn't been run. The highest peak hasn't been climbed yet. The mightiest rivers unspent. Don't worry and fret, they hasn't. The chances they have just begun. For the best jokes they haven't been started. And the best work it hasn't been done. Chance for you, son. Why the best books have not yet been written? The best race, it hasn't been run. The best score, it hasn't been made yet. The best song, it hasn't been sung. The best tune, it hasn't been played yet.
Cheer up, for the world is young.
For the best verse, it hasn't been rhymed yet. The best house, it hasn't been planned. The highest peak hasn't been climbed yet. The mightiest
Rivers unspanned.
Don't worry and fret, faint-hearted. Your chances, they have just begun.
Dun, 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 dun. Remind me never to touch that microphone, my God. Yo! All right. Thank you for being here. It's been lovely hanging out with you. And I'm pretty amazed that everything went pretty smoothly, apart from occasionally the microphone disconnecting. That's pretty wonderful right there. Big shout out to everyone who supported this stream. Matthew Felty, Liz Bay, Free Consciousness, Mute Barbecue, Enzo, Walking More Poet, Full Killer, Mute Barbecue, JT the Lionheart, Claudio, Scoops82, Robert Easley, Amanda Dances. Massive shout out to 2076 who gave so many people subscriptions. That was lovely. Man like Matt, Mike Can, Scoops82, Andrew Pullman. Big shouts out to Rex Racing. I gotta read that properly. I'm trying to read a screen on the other side of the room, and my eyes aren't very good. I feel that they're not as good as they were last time I tried to do this. Rex Racing, that was it. Rex Racing, and happy birthday, Ashley. Robert Easley, Lefty Lucid. Shouts out to all of you beautiful people. Thank you for being here. We will be back. Lefty Lucid says, miss these streams. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to hearing more from me. I'm looking forward to listening and playing more of these amazing songs I've been releasing every week all year. There are so many that we've not yet played. We didn't play any of the Scott Adams ones tonight. And, hey, look, it's Tahani. What up, Tahani? Last time we saw you, you were pregnant with a baby. And I believe you've had one. I believe that's true. Baby Wave was born just before midnight on November 2024. Is the healthiest, happiest boy I've ever seen. Blessings on blessings I had to share. Sending love to the whole man's fam. Well, we're very glad you're here. I'm very happy to see you. Congratulations. Welcome, Baby Wave, to the world. I'm pretty sure Wave is going to have a wonderful time here in this wonderful world with his lovely mum, Tahani AF, and everybody else. What a wonderful thing. Meaning babies of the world. Meaning babies will save the world, if it even needs saving. I think it's doing all right. Could be better, will be better. Could be worse. Last song won't last long.
All the ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks are swimming
oh, what?
in the water. All the
oh, what?
are swimming in the water.
Oh, what?
Ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks
Quack, baby, let's go.
swimming in the water. All the ducks are swimming in the water.
Yeah.
All the ducks are swimming in the water.
Yeah. Make some noise for yourselves. What a lovely time.
All the ducks are swimming in the water.
Works on all levels, that's right.
Swimming in the water. All the ducks are 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 swimming in the water.
New album, Acres of Diamonds with Earl Nightingale is out now. Go download that. Add it to your playlists if you engage in such operations. Go to Meaningwave.com and pick up that vinyl that you need. Grab CDs while you can.
All the ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks are swimming in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
All the ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks are swimming in the water. Under, under, under. All the ducks are swimming in the water. Under, under, under. All the ducks are swimming in the water. All the ducks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for being here, brothers and sisters. Lovely. We had a lovely time. Looking forward to doing it again. Meaningwave.com. Happiness is a side effect of meaning. Hasta luego, babies. Listen to that beautiful microphone. Amazing.